I think you are potentially China's #1 enemy.
Beijing is seeking his arrest.
Controversial Chinese billionaire.
He is charged with fraud and money laundering.
The charges he's facing are very serious.
Some say he's a villain. Or could he be a victim? Let's delve deeper to uncover the truth. Who is Miles Kwok?
Hello everyone, welcome to Lila Hosh. Today having spent Miles Kwok has having spent 3 decades inside the exclusive circle of decision makers within the CCP. Mr. Miles Kwok has accumulated a vast array of knowledge about the CCP's darkest secrets, including those of its leaders. This is why Miles Kwok has become the most wanted enemy of the CCP. When you heard Miles Kwok, this is CCP #1 enemy. Most people will imagine Miles is fighting against all the 93 million communists from the party, which is not true. Miles always says 99% of the communists are good people. Only by eliminating dozens of people from the party will bring freedom for the Chinese people. So starting by 26th of January 2017, Miles Kwok initiated the whistleblower movement. He revealed the dark secrets of kleptocrats kidnapping the whole nation's resources to serve them. These kleptocrats are using the national weapons and the money stolen from Miles and to eradicate Miles. But who are the kleptocrats? First, Jiang Zemin's family, Zhu Rongji's family, Zhong Qingfeng's family, Xi Jinping's family, Wang Qishan's family, Meng Jianzhu's family, Sun Yijun's family. I will give a very short introduction of this kleptocrats. Almost all of the SOC countries are Jiang Zemin's power. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SOC, is the interest of Jiang Zemin's family. Like He Tianjia, Kunlunjia is controlled by Jiang's family. Jiang's family owns several $trillion. All of the politicians of the world together do not have that much money like Jiang's family. From the Miles revolution in 2002, like Zhu Rongji and Jiang Zemin's family made a landing in Kazakhstan, where the family sold state land to develop minerals and has the right to develop the land in a perpetuity of the price of He Tianjia is completely controlled by the Jiang Zemin's family. Zhong Qingfeng's family and Zhu Rongji's family. Why? There was Bitcoin created by the Chinese Communist Party. And it was created by the Jiang Zemin's family to do money laundering. Why UBS to become China's first foreign capital alone? 100% license. Why JP Morgan need to take securities companies? Because they are Wang Qishan family, Jiang Zemin family's money laundering tool. The $20 trillion stolen from the Chinese people by the kleptocrats is hidden overseas, and the Jiang Zemin's family, Wang Qishan and Zhu Rongji family know where the $20 trillion is. And the NFSC, the CCP's Communist Party, and the evil organizations that control the kleptocrats are fighting for this $20 trillion. This money must be under the surveillance by the NFSC for the benefits of the Chinese people, and it must never fall into the pockets of the Chinese Communist Party again. So to retrieve the wealth of the Chinese people and to protect their lives and their money. So during the 1st of May to 15th of May to 2017, Bruce No.1 Sun Lijun, Liu Yinping, Nicolas Davis, Elliot Brody, Steve Wynn, and 7 biggest bosses in the U.S. were communicating and coordinating with each other to deport Moscow. The emails and letters they sent and the service fees were all obtained by Moscow, for example, to give them a total of $2 billion once now successfully deported to the third party Abu Dhabi, and there will be a careful arrangement, like who will persuade President Trump, who will persuade FBI and the CIA once Mao's repatriation to Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi would get the $3 billion, and then through Malaysia to get Miles back to the CCP. Jolo was in Malaysia, and his Mongolian immediate son, born in Shanghai. Jolo is a protagonist of the 1MD scandal between May 23rd and 26, 2017. Liu Yanping, a high-ranking CCP official, and he was a former secretary of Discipline and Inspection Committee of China Ministry of State Security, held meeting with Moscow in New York, trying to persuade Moscow to return to China, and Liu secretly recorded the conversations. However, the FBI later confiscated the recording at the airport and gave a copy of the recording to Moscow. Recording showed that Liu urged Miles to stop the movement and return home, and after which the government would release the frozen assets of Gore's family and leave Miles' Gore's relatives in peace. At the same time, the CCP enabled his assets within the U.S. government to attempt to kidnap Miles from the U.S. and bring him to China. And in May 2017, this is the detail of which we just talked about 1 minute ago, yes, through international media, like Nicolas Davis, the CCP enlisted Press Michelle, American rapper and businessman, along with George Higginbotham, a former senior congressional affairs specialist in the U.S. Department of Justice (DOJ), to help with more lucrative assignment of persuading President Trump deport Gore back to China. Davis, Michelle Higginbotham, and Neil Borley, who was the deputy of finance chairman of the Republican National Committee (RNC), have been working on another lobbying campaign at the request of the CCP. Jolo for hundreds of millions of dollars. And in June 2017, Brody solicited help with another senior White House insider, casino maniac Steve Wynn, the then finance chairman of the RNC, who was eager to please the CCP. At the same time, at that time, the CCP had restricted the gambling table and machines that Wynn Macau casinos could operate in 2016. With regeneration of the casino license scheduled for 2019, according to the federal court documents, Wynn was motivated enough to hold at least 8 telephone conversations with Sun Lijun, the former vice minister. Now he's in jail. He was a former vice minister of public security of China. Each call lasting about 30 minutes, when also Hunt delivered a letter from Xi Jinping to President Trump seeking the deportation of Moscow, facing multiple charges. On November 30th, 2018, Higginbotham took a plea deal and pleaded guilty to 1 count conspiracy to make false bank statements. In 2020, Brody plead guilty to violating FARA for back channel, lobbying on behalf of the CCP. Davis was sentenced to 2 years in prison by a Hawaii judge on January 18th, 2023. The DOJ is currently appealing a federal judge's dismissal of his lawsuit seeking to compel Wynn to register under federal thanks to America. Yes, CCP's effort to deport Miles through his infiltrated White House insiders was failed. Miles is still in America, even he has no freedom, but in the past 7 years, Miles has established the new federal state of China, founded the G News, GTV, GETTR, G Club, G Fashion, and more importantly, hundreds of millions of fellow fighters have been following Miles in his fight for freedom, democracy, and taking down the evil Chinese community.
The Fuji singer took millions of dollars from what the media dubs a Malaysian billionaire. This is another guy, not Gua. Those who study the Communist Party actually believe this billionaire, Joe Lo, is a pawn and a tool for the Chinese Communist Party. This is a guy that was working with that Fuji singer. He too now is wanted by the FBI. Hiding? Where? You guessed it, folks, in China. The case is now a conviction against Pras Michel. That conviction comes down to this.
Did Pras Michel violate U.S. election laws on foreign donations by allegedly funneling donations from Joe Lo to the Obama campaign in 2012? And did he violate what's called FARA, the Foreign Agents Registration Act, by engaging in unregistered lobbying on behalf of Joe Lo and on behalf of also allegedly the Chinese government?
Now, remember, this case is all about trying to get Miles Gua back to China, okay? And their inability to do that because President Trump said, I'm not doing it. But they had Republican campaign financiers involved in this case, pleading guilty. They had a member of the DOJ, a guy by the name of George Higginbotham, who also pled guilty in this. They even had Steve Wynn, the casino magnate, who apparently goes to the Trump White House trying to get them to extradite Gua back to China. Trump said no. If the CCP wants him, he probably is worth something. He needs to stay here. In my mind, this case is far more important than the now convicted Pras Michel. It's really about Miles Gua. The Fuji singer took millions of dollars from what the media dubs a Malaysian billionaire. This is another guy, not Gua. Those who study the Communist Party actually believe this billionaire, Joe Lo, is a pawn and a tool for the Chinese Communist Party. This is a guy that was working with that Fuji singer. He too now is wanted by the FBI. Hiding? Where? You guessed it, folks, in China. The case is now a conviction against Pras Michel. That conviction comes down to this.
Did Pras Michel violate U.S. election laws on foreign donations by allegedly funneling donations from Joe Lo to the Obama campaign in 2012? And did he violate what's called FARA, the Foreign Agents Registration Act, by engaging in unregistered lobbying on behalf of Joe Lo and on behalf of also allegedly the Chinese government?
Now, remember, this case is all about trying to get Miles Gua back to China, okay? And their inability to do that because President Trump said, I'm not doing it. But they had Republican campaign financiers involved in this case, pleading guilty. They had a member of the DOJ, a guy by the name of George Higginbotham, who also pled guilty in this. They even had Steve Wynn, the casino magnate, who apparently goes to the Trump White House trying to get them to extradite Gua back to China. Trump said no. If the CCP wants him, he probably is worth something. He needs to stay here. In my mind, this case is far more important than the now convicted Pras Michel. It's really about Miles Gua.
Miles's revelation is an act of God's arrangement, connecting all the peace-loving people in the West, how they see the rise of China and how they get along with China, what kind of future China has, and what kind of relationship it has with China. These all coincide with Miles's revelations. Like throwing eggs on the rock, people thought Miles' revelations absurd, hilarious, and incomprehensible. The passage of time, events, and facts has led to various incidents such as the HNA incident, the incidents involving Wang Qishan and Fan Bingbing, the murder of Wang Jian, the corruption of Meng Jianzhu, the arrival of Fu Jianhua and Suan Lijun in the United States, the kidnapping and assassination of Liu Yinping against me, and the emergence of an unprecedented global rumor against me, the CCP's propaganda attack, the spy system, the intelligence system, and the silent power of the CCP abroad. By state power, the CCP defines Miles Guo as its #1 enemy. It is a series of stupid actions, arrogant behaviors, and dangerous and lawless mob tactics that prove the true value of Miles' revelations. This topic has garnered significant attention in the Western world. No matter whether political groups, governments, or think tanks, as well as the capitalist interests of the West's fundamental capitalist societies and various organizations, we have attracted a lot of attention as they learned, investigated, went deeper, and acted with strict legal discipline. Miles' revelations. Miles, together with his fellow fighters, while facing the evil forces, do not compromise, fear, or lose courage or virtue. The spiritual, moral, and behavioral aspects that Westerners thought Chinese people lacked shocked them. It was a great shock for them to see the new Chinese people. After the economic upgrade of China, we have shown a new Chinese with a series of different views on life, faith, humanity, and the world. That's what I'm saying. The West thinks this is the right way for China, and we have to follow righteousness. The key thing is that the West, and especially the U.S. government and President Trump's administration officials, through my revelation, Miles' revelation, and all channels of appeal, must separate the CCP from the Chinese people once and for all. There is no party in the world that can represent a country. Distinguishing between the CCP, China, and the Chinese, these three concepts are distinct. At the same time, we want to suggest that the vast majority of Chinese people aspire to live in a China that upholds the rule of law, is free, democratic, fair, and peaceful. The vast majority of Chinese people want to continue to bide their time and develop their economy, as well as have freedom of belief and religion. More importantly, the Chinese people desire treatment similar to that of the West, which respects individuals, protects private property, and does not tolerate corruption. Let the Chinese people no longer eat fake food. Let the Chinese people reduce the haze and pollution of the environment caused by this unacceptable extinction of the family and extinction of future behavior in the future generation. Hopefully, it'll stop and be.
The chemical cross are using the nation to make all sorts of layouts all over the world together with big US dollars. Terms Miles School as CCP enemy #1, which proves Miles is a real threat to the evil CCP. That was their effort to disappear Miles from America. But how much they robbed Miles' assets? 60 billion yuan equal $8.7 billion from Beijing Zenith Holdings. A Beijing court then puts the Plaza for auction on website run by e-commerce giant Alibaba. The skyscraper property eventually sold for just under 5.19 billion yuan. That means 734 million US dollars, and Zhengzhou Yuda Palace was auctioned for 1.2 billion RMB, is equivalent to $169 million, and the CCP seized and froze Haidong securities for 4.4 billion RMB. That means plus 2.2 billion RMB of properties and 1.9 billion RMB of cash deposits. In total, that means 6.5 billion. Excuse me, it's Hong Kong dollars. It's not RMB. So it is equal to 1.1 billion US dollars. This is the data we found available from media platform. In fact, Miles Guo has definitely lost much more than this amount of wealth. Now he is charged with fraud by the US Department of Justice in amount of $1 billion, but more than that, 60 million has been seized by the SEC, and why they made up 74 lawsuits against Miles Guo.
Remember, which crime did the Dalian court use to determine the sentence and fine? Many of the family members received arrests and sentences, each for a different crime. We did not have any convictions then. Pango 7-star Beijing was finally sentenced and referred to as forced trade. China used this for the first time since its founding. It is called forced trade. It's because Vice Minister Ma Jian helped us buy shares of national securities from Beijing Capital Airport. Therefore, it was called forced trade. How could they say that I forced him to do so? The public exchange handled the transaction. Please remember, it was bought at the market. To date, none of the evaluations has been higher than this. It was also evaluated by the second and third parties, which were all CCP's appraisal companies. We bought it for 1.5 billion renminbi in one deal. It was recognized by the capital and all the commercial banks in China as the best investment for a state-owned enterprise, preserving and increasing the value of state-owned assets. It turned out that it was Vice Minister Ma Jian who forced the deal, resulting in a fine of $60 billion for the Pango crime. In addition to the confiscated $13 billion in stock, it was equivalent to 100 billion yuan. In addition to the $100 billion, they also threw my brothers and executives out of their homes. Don't you think they're shameless? It is just like Sister Zhaoing is being there on her own. I said how Haidong made a mistake, but I took Zhaoing away instead. What would the world say? Besides, Hao didn't make any mistake. Who owns this building? All assets of Pangu and Yuda were used for mortgage from Abu Dhabi in 2013. All have been mortgaged to Abu Dhabi. So, what he's doing now is taking Abu Dhabi's money, not our money. Furthermore, my family members' houses have nothing to do with Abu Dhabi. They were all taken away. The judge issued the sentence after 6 years. This is what happened in 2015. Bruno Wu, on behalf of the Commission for Discipline Inspection, announced that he would arrest my family members and seize all assets. The announcement was made the day before yesterday. This is the 6th year, from 2015 to 2021. Under what name to announce this now? Remember, everyone, please take a look at the document that was issued. The Beijing High Court received this fine decision from the Western District Court of Dalian, but they posted a notice on site. Remember, the notice posted on site at Pangu was sent to me by Haidong's friend. He sent me a picture that was quite blurry. Bruno Wu's power is evident. All of the notice said, because the property management company of Pangu 7-star Beijing cannot perform property management business during the pandemic. Who was Pangu 7-star Property Management? It's a Hong Kong-based management company. It's an international company. So, you can just take over the apartment and the management.
Talking about Miles' personal life and how they maltreated by the United government, or even he's living in U.S. and by the Chinese Communist Party, it gives me so much emotion that I feel so much stressed. So today is only start of doing the show of Miles. For next, we will do better for the next episode from Lila Hosh about how this CCP against Miles. Okay, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. Let me tell you what I've been through, baby. Lived a life that was hella unfair. Seen things that been driving me crazy. In a country where the leaders don't care. Didn't think we had the courage to change it. Tore it down and they weren't prepared. Everything that they kept us from saying. Now we talking and they better be scared. Take from us. Tell us what and who to love. Swear I finally had enough. It's time to rise above.